Hey, Star Wars fans, here we are with Game 2 of the 2024 World Championships Finals. Uh, this is, again, between Wallin and Joe Olson. It is Joe playing HITCO, Emil playing AOBS, and just to recap, Emil took Game 1 by 7.
Yep.
Um, so,
And this will be an interesting match because Hitco is, I mean, we see he is the chosen one, not starting the pod race arena, so Joe's doing better than at Continentals. But like, he is the chosen one, wants to get Luke in play, wants to keep Luke in
yeah.
play.
And
Agents does not want Luke in play.
yeah, and the thing is,
So,
this Asians deck is not really designed to beat Hitco. It has some trick. Again, it has tricks in it because this is Amol, but at the same time, though, it is an uphill battle.
yeah, I mean, even with the tricks, it's an uphill battle because your tricks are almost entirely dependent on things like hidden weapons going through and Joe's playing senses.
Yeah,
So you have to have
I
your
mean,
own. You have
both
to
players
get
are
like,
essentially playing senses. But yeah, the hidden weapons are there. We already saw that Amol revealed Erica V as one of his reps or one of his
and
reps on
then
agents cards. Um,
Mithron Nudo was the other,
Myth Romanudo is the other one.
which means he doesn't have things like the Dre and Ponda.
Yeah, no Mara Jade. So he is
So
going to rely on a
he's,
lot of those kind of stuff. Like he's relying on hidden weapons, Boba Fett bounty hunter, stuff like that.
yeah, I mean, he's got the Emperor, so he's likely going to be able to keep Joe on the zero side. But
And he's pulling his
Joe is in a
sights.
much worse spot on the zero side, or in a much better spot on the zero side than Agents is.
Exactly. And I don't. One of the things that Amil's doing is here. So he shows that he's pulling the two locations. So that's actually going to be able to give Luke a place to run. So if Luke comes down, he's got the Shizor's prize. You're going to give Luke a battleground to run to.
Why would Luke come down in front of Caesar and the Vigo at any point? You know he has the bounty. You just throw Luke
To get
at
rid of the bounty.
Endor. You don't care. Throw Luke at Endor.
No.
Start draining with prophecy and let him have Caesar. You keep him on the zero side. You're doing more damage than he is.
Uh,
There's no reason to go after Caesar with Luke. Like
I mean,
absent an amazing hand where you have like a control to stop the bounty.
yeah, if you've got the control and like the sniper, the sorry about the mess, I mean, that would be
Yeah.
kind of game. But
But absent that, I don't think there's any reason to go after him
yeah, yeah, you may be right.
with Luke. Like there's just no.
Okay, so we see that Amel has. So he looked at his force pile, and the top card, the card he just drew, was U3PO.
Yep. Which is
And
fine. Like that's where, you know,
and that's
you're
where
gonna
your
try
strategy
and
goes out to run. You just forgo that
Joe's got
strategy.
Joe's got a sorry. Joe's probably he may not have the free ride combo
Yeah,
in here. Like that Joe's got answers for spies
and Amel
as
takes the
well. But
last card. I
honestly,
believe it
even
was
if it's just a
P59.
even if it's a drop Luke, put him on the zero side and you know, wait for something like Emil's doing very little damage. On the zero side, Emil does very little damage as
Very
well.
little, yeah.
So you're not Joe's not on a clock particularly in that regard, but he's draining, you know, he's activating more, he gets that +1 to power, like all of it's good for him to just have Luke
There's Yoda's hut, and
sit in there.
There's Luke going down in front of Shizor and the Vigo.
Why do I even talk sometimes?
Because it's you. There's the
All
bounty.
right, so there's the bounty. And you're right, I mean it does give him the plan.
There's
There's
the
the
control.
control. That would have been the only reason to go for it. So I did say that. I'm not an
No,
entirely
no, I'm agreeing with you. And here comes Luke's saber.
and this game may be over real quick.
I mean, Luke's
Like ML's got the sewer to go
Joe is
get
aggressively
Caesar
shuffling
back.
his deck or going through his deck.
Yeah, that's. I mean, ML's got the sewer. He can get Shizor back. He does have enough sixes in there with Emperors. He could still kill Luke just on a blind.
Yeah, I mean, Luke's immune. What less than
Less
seven
than
now?
six. I thought it's Oh, you're right. It is 7 because
Yeah.
he's alone with the saber. So he's 7. So yeah, you're not killing Luke.
No.
Yeah, this is not going to end well.
Yeah.
That control is
Swings.
big.
Draws a 1 and a 1.
That's good for
Joe has
ML
not
though.
drawn good Destiny when he's swinging his sabers all day today.
That was
That
that's real good for
Yeah,
ML.
that's amazing for Amel. Like,
Yeah, like that would have been very, very bad otherwise. I mean, as it stands, he's still likely going to lose a guy, and there's the
there's Anakin's.
Anakin's
Yeah.
Skywalker. I'm assuming to add a Destiny to attrition
Yeah, that would essentially.
because you want to kill both of them. You
Yeah,
don't care
because
about
the Vigo gets plus forfeit with Shizor, draws a 4 for Destiny, so there's a 5. So it's 13.
And here is the other dross.
and
Oh my
5,
goodness!
And that's just going to get rid of the Vigo.
Wow. Joe's draws have not been good, although I do think he's going to get a stack
Yeah,
on his Destiny. So he's at 12 to.
12 to.
No,
13.
he's not. He's 13. Yeah, he's not. He's going to lose a force.
I mean, Joe's already on the 7 side of his objective, so he could theoretically get it back. But Amel did play Secret Plans, which is the smart move.
If he's going to get anything back, honestly, he's going to save and use Anakin's Destiny to get that Anakin Skywalker back.
You mean Prophecy?
Or Prophecy, whatever.
You should know that.
It gets back a card with Anakin in text. I got that part of it right. That's the important part.
Is it, though?
I don't need to know what cards are called. I need to know what they do.
Well, if you're going to use his Anakin's Destiny, that's an interrupt that has a loss or starting interrupt. Hey, don't tell me, don't chirp at me because you know I'm right.
I don't remember ordering a Yappuccino, but all right, go ahead. Keep cocking. That's
And there's the second sight for Amel.
Yeah.
So
Amel,
I'm
Amel
glad to see
dodged
that he's
a
using
massive
old
bullet.
school, original Ages of Black Sun locations. Not the new
fancy art. So. Yeah, I think when those old arts came out, I was not. That might have been during my retirement. So
Yep,
there's Palpatine to flip back to the 0 side, but again, HITCO's okay being on the 0 side. Like you lose the activation, you lose some things,
There's
but you're not necessarily hating it, and that's fine. Joe's not crushed over that.
Shadows. Takes the Force Lightning, so you can start cycling the Force Lightning by just targeting Shizor.
Yeah. So far, all of this is...
Yep, and Shizor runs away to fight another day.
Brave Sir Shizor ran away. And he's just... Yeah, like... Amel's not doing much right here either.
No, but, I mean, he's still in a...
He's causing more damage to Joe than Joe is because Joe's currently doing 0, but Joe burnt the Shizor's bounty already.
Yeah, the Vigo's not on the table. I mean, Amel's not in the best position just because of the board state, but he's also making it so that Joe is not doing anything with Luke.
Joe had an amazing hand that this game could have been over in 10 minutes. Had he hit on one of those saber swings.
Yeah. Depending on... I mean,
and now he's got to figure out what he wants to do here, but like he can run into the battle if he's got a guy. There's so many... And there, he's got a guy. And are we going to see a barrier to Yoda? Nope. And I think Joe is just kind of looking at like... I think if you start the battle and you run Luke run in, I think you still just swing at Shizor.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And
there's the... So Amel's going to draw a card with Shadows.
Oh, with Shadows. It took me a second. I'm like, how did Amel draw it? And then I was...
Yep, there's the battle. There's the run, Luke, run.
Yep. There's Luke in. I think you still swing at Shizor. Like, you're going to win in power.
Yeah.
There's a 6 and 5, so who did he swing at?
He's hitting whoever he wants.
Yeah, but who did he? I think
I don't
you
know.
swing at Shizor 100% of the time. I think.
Yep,
Yep,
looks like,
he
yeah,
did swing at
that's a
Shizor.
Shizor.
I like when Joe does the things I suggest. Makes me feel good, and you know, like I'm
So
not
it's
terrible.
9 to
A pile
14.
6, 14, 18, 20 because he's +2 from run league run as well.
Yeah.
It's 23 to. I missed what ML drew.
He drew R Sing, so it's a 4. Stacks a
Okay,
card.
so he stacks a card, and
Joe
Joe is
does.
totally immune.
Yeah. I mean, both of them are
With ML
immune.
using the shadows, he can't move U3PO over, so now he's giving up that drain. You can't peel and leave just Palpatine.
No, no, you can't. I agree.
Like you're losing them both, and then maybe shadowsing back, or maybe sewering back Shizor, but this is a bad spot for.
I mean, you said it.
So Luke is
Joe
6
had an
+2
amazing
is
hand.
8 +2 is 10. And then Yoda's another 6, so 16, 19 to 13. I guess, yeah. I mean, you're peeling 6 to keep Palpatine alive.
Yeah.
That's rough. Like, I don't know. I can't, I can't think of a spot where I'd want to do that. Like, as much as I like having the wrinkly old guy on the table, I can't.
You
Peeling
feel
6 to
you
keep a
feel
guy
a kinship
who's,
between you and him.
I mean, he's a little younger than I am, but like the rest of it, yeah, there's a certain amount of you know brotherly
There goes the Emperor.
brotherly feelings there, and yeah, I think you had to do that. Like Emperor sitting there is just a liability right now.
Well, I mean, he
Like if
can
you
move
move him
away.
away, yeah, but Joe's now drawing a bunch of cards,
Yeah.
and the Emperor without backup is a liability. There's no reason to
But at the
peel a
same time,
bunch to
though, I
leave
mean,
the
there's
guy.
really the only two weapons in the deck that can hit the Emperor are Luke's Saber, which is already on the table, and Obi-Wan with Saber.
Which Joe's got a couple in there, and
There's our only hope to search for the 2-2, I'm assuming. Yep, there it is.
yep.
And I feel like that's just going to be a card that Joe's going to lose eventually.
Yeah, Joe's just wants to get the 0 out of his deck.
Yeah. Get the 0 out of the
That's
deck, put a
he
4
got
back.
Yoda's hut out, which was far more important. Now he's just like, okay, I'll get that down, and then he put a card down with Luke, and he's flipped,
Yep.
so he's going to pay 1 to retrieve 1, which I mean, it's got to be the run like run.
I'd say it's no. Well, he could take the Anakin into hand, but
He
he
instead retrieved the Anakin.
yeah,
That was a mistake because you can retrieve the Anakin with Twilight
prophecy.
Prophecy, whatever. You can retrieve the Anakin with one of them their cards that he plays.
You know what? I'm going to say it this way. You got to think that Joe right now is probably feeling kind of good.
Yeah,
Like, you got to think that his
and he
endorphins are a
might
little
be.
higher than they normally are.
Yeah, and he might be sitting on like he drew the bionic hand,
Yeah.
he's going to do something else with it instead. So we're getting a good look at ML's deck,
Yeah.
and yeah, there's not a lot of good answers for Joe. There's the rite of passage, which I think would have canceled the run like run.
No, well, yeah, it would have canceled the run Luke grunt. On top of that, it is Quiet Mining Colony tech. Uh, Andrew Moss actually told me to put that into my Rots Vader deck for day
Yeah,
2.
did you?
I did. It pulls lift tube from outside of your deck.
I did see a couple lift tubes in the pile.
And Joe's like, "What does this card do?" Oh,
Yeah, like ML's deck is a strong deck. There's good cards in there. It's
yeah.
Agents of the Black Sun. It is what it is. It's just he is the
When
chosen one is such a
Joe
hard
had
matchup
that
for it.
start,
Yeah, and
like
the start Joe had with the control combo for the bounty,
I
it's
do think that Joe was playing
that was
multiple of them,
brutal.
so it makes
Yeah,
sense that he hit one. But again,
it's
it,
still having one
yeah.
is rough.
Hey, but when you get luck like that, it just The
Hey,
timing for luck like that is just feels amazing.
there are times where I would rather be lucky than good.
Oh, 100%.
You take the luck when you can because if you're good and you're lucky, it's even better. There's Rystall who starts
Retrieves.
retrieving with
Erica
Erica.
retrieves.
Maybe not Erica. I mean, you got to put Erica down there. There's no one else you're putting down there. ML's just thinking because like Erica plus Rystall,
He's deep in the tank, and you can tell
a simple neighbor run just ends your day.
it. Yeah.
And I mean, almost anything else, like a simple Obi with Saber puts you in a bad
There's so much that Joe can
spot.
have right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, and that's the smart move by
That
Joe.
might have been as Joe just said, okay, you put down Rystall, fine. Now I'm going to put down Simple Tricks.
Yeah.
So instead, we see Boba Fett with Blaster Rifle, who definitely adds a scare factor with being able to capture or hit and fuels hidden weapons. Like with Boba Fett down there, I don't think you neighbor and Luke over. Like I can't see. You risking Luke there doesn't make any sense.
If you've got
like that's a drain of 1, and you can and you're flipped. So you just wait. Like fine, drain for 1. I'll drain for 3, and then I'll retrieve that 1. Knock yourself out.
The thing is, if you've got like a clash, that just ends the game.
Yeah, but that ends the game with anyone.
Huh?
That ends the game with almost anything. Like a single Obi with lightsaber and clash.
Yeah,
is going to effectively end this game too.
Yeah.
But like.
Yep. Control set for stun.
Control the drain.
Notice there's no battle plan on the table or battle order.
Yeah, I mean Joe's shield busted, and also
Emil's shield busted too.
Yeah, but like it would hurt Amel more than it would hurt Joe right now.
Yeah, agreed.
Joe's activating better, and his drain is bigger. Joe says, "Hey, remember that run, Luke? Run." Pepperidge Farm remembers. So that just says I'm going to own your Coruscant and come get some. As we see Corran Horn, who's going to break U-3PO's cover.
Cute.
And again, Luke's got to run Luke around. Like, what are you going to do here?
Yeah.
Corran steals U-3PO. 1 to move. Oh, all right. I was honestly expecting Yoda to move and Joe to say, come get some.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that.
But I don't hate Joe doing it this way either. Like Joe says, look, I'm in a very commanding position. You're going to drain for 1. And actually, Prophecy should have moved there when he drained. Or does Prophecy only... Because I thought it's when you initiate, or if is it a...
It's after the drain's completed.
Okay. That's what I was just looking it up.
You don't move it... And
if a player just force drained,
it's after the drain's completed, and the drain was never.
Yeah, if it was canceled, it was never the force drain never occurred. Yeah. So okay, so Prophecy stays where it is. That's
and you call yourself a HITCO player. Chris Kelly should slap you.
I usually just figure Prophecy's going with Luke every time, and I don't expect to see control combos played for both sides in a game.
Well, then you're playing Star Wars CCG wrong.
It's very possible. I have never sat at the last table for, the World Championships because I don't put control combos in both sides.
No, you put cards like limited resources in.
You shut your mouth because limited resources is amazing in match play.
Push. Let's see what Amel's going to grab here. I mean, I was able to play force push against Amel, so that was a highlight of my weekend.
Yeah, no, force push. I mean, he's going to go get something good, and Joe's trying to move Prophecy.
Joe's trying to, but it never happened.
Yep. I mean, we already had that discussion. I think Joe should catch up.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, Joe's 2 hours behind you as it is.
Plus, this happened in Europe, so
He's ahead
it's
of us.
somewhere between now and Thursday.
Yeah.
I don't actually understand how the time zones work over there, and I don't pretend to.
Don't. Yeah,
I just
it's
know
too
they're
much of a
way off.
hassle.
It's they're a bunch of hours in front of, behind, or around us somewhere, and I just say
Yep,
okay.
there's the Zuckus and Forlom and Mist Hunter with Banis Keeg.
Who
So
does something funky? Yep,
yeah, you draw
grabs
the
a.
top card of your reserve deck, or anytime you put a Black Sun Agent up there. So now that is a Battleground up at Coruscant.
So that would matter. I mean, I guess even without battle order coming down for either player, like it just gives you a drain of one that
Yeah,
Joe's going to struggle to have an answer to. I mean, the wild card plus guys is cute.
but at the same time, like I mean, you can't draw multiple Battle Destinies up in space.
Yep.
There's
So, and
Mithron
there's
Renudo.
Thrawn, who really just says, all right, your wild card is cute. It does nothing. And I'm going to start pinging your site, pinging those
Yeah,
sites. Is Banis Kiga once per turn? What am I?
I don't know. Joe's doing something.
Not sure why
I don't
he
know.
couldn't.
As we
Oh,
see
there's no passenger
that. Oh, you're
capacity on
right.
Zuckuss. It's just you can add one pilot. That's it.
Oh, Joe's better at Star Wars.
I mean, I picked it up eventually. I caught it before Emil did. So
Did you though?
Emil tried to play it,
Yeah, but this is
and
in the
neither of us
past.
saw anything was wrong with it. So that's fine. We'll go from there. I wonder if there's a Tarkin's Order or two in that deck.
Maybe.
I mean, I could see one
Yeah.
because Agents runs the risk occasionally of those big drains
Okay, so there's the drain.
going around, but there was not because the drain goes through and prophecy moves.
Yeah, there goes another
And he
Vigo
loses
and
the
a
Vigo,
Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, and Tarkin's Bounty.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Joe's still kind of comfortably in the lead here.
Yeah, but the other thing is, being that I mean, Emil's actually no, I'm sorry. Joe has simple tricks and nonsense out. If Emil had coward out, Joe would not be able to retrieve.
Yeah, but Emil's shield busted.
Yeah.
There's no try. Having to pull fanfare to pull the bounty and secret plans and corruption, like Emil's already shield busted. And honestly, Joe could move fairly easily. And really, I would expect Joe's going to take a second battle round. So there,
And
Joe says,
our
all right,
wild card.
let's go with the wild card. Now, you're not drawing multiples up there, but you can add to the total.
Yeah.
So if he's got that looks like a Chewie protector. Yep.
Comes out for 5.
Pays full freight for Chewie, but gets the +1 to total battle destiny up there.
Yeah.
And they both are immune to less than 5. So and I mean, worst case scenario, he could always shuttle Corrin up there.
I think that's what Joe's eventually going to do.
It would make sense.
As we see him, no battle.
Shuttle Corrin up there.
Horn. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see it. There's no value in battling. And U3PO. Captain Forfeit Fodder. So, that way on the off chance, like, Emil does draw like a 6, you can be like, all right, well, here's, Corrin and U3PO. Fine.
Yeah. Or Chewie and U3PO.
Well, if he draws a 6, you just lose Chewie. Chewie forfeits for 6.
Yeah, true.
But if you lose Chewie, you lose the +1 to the total.
Well, if you lose, you're getting +2 because Corrin Horn's up there. I mean, he's not a smuggler.
Corrin's not a smuggler.
He's not a smuggler.
He's only a smuggler if Joe's playing a card that he can't play in this deck. So, or I think he can.
How
he just
often
gets
does Joe do that, though?
Yeah, I mean, you're talking about like what would you expect him to do? Pod racing in this deck? Like what kind of craziness
right?
with that? So, Emil's getting accountant space and just all right. What's your total power? Because he might. I could see him doing the fist plus another,
Yeah.
fist plus Mithron Nudo, and okay, I'm going to try and overpower you and make things hurt.
Well,
Because
he's
that's
got a
about all he
Java
can do.
Space
He got the
Cruiser.
drain of 1 through. So Java Space Cruiser can pull an alien leader,
Yeah. There's
but
Mithron
he's not
Menudo.
even bothering because he had Thrawn in hand. And using Bannis Keeg to draw the top card after he deploys Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
Joe reading a bunch of cards because he's like, I don't know what any of these do. What are you
He
doing
calls
to me
himself
here?
a Star Wars player.
See, now I would not mind seeing Erica go down to the Ewok village.
Mm-hmm.
You get the retrieval with Rystall, which is fine. But it's more you also flip Joe back. So I didn't see Joe grab a card during his control phase, but he can start taking a card off the reserve during his control phase as well.
Yeah.
Which is just one more, like, cycle your deck, get your cards, get your deck going.
Probot going down to the Funeral Pyre.
All right. I don't hate that.
The only thing I hate about that is, like, if Joe is able to clear off Rystall and Boba Fett, it's a drain of 0 there.
Yeah, with simple tricks. And
Yeah. There's Erica, like you said.
says Erica instead. And yeah, I mean, if Joe's able to clear, the thing is, if Joe's able to clear Probot, he goes at Probotting
4, 2, and a 5.
Gets nothing from that site.
Yeah.
Which is the, like, okay, is that really what you're trying to do? So the 5 is the only thing that kills up in space.
Yeah.
And I don't love, like, if I'm ML, I don't think I want to be like, maybe I draw good enough, because if Joe draws one of those 6s, you're out 2 things.
Yes.
So.
And I don't know which. It's probably going to be Thrawn and Space Cruiser.
Yeah. Like, and honestly, even if Joe draws like a 5, you're still like, okay, I'm out the Space Cruiser, which is still not good. Like,
No.
Or you're not out the Space Cruiser, you're out Thrawn. And you're doing it when Joe can then battle into you.
Yeah.
Which is not good.
Yeah.
Like, so I think you may see Emil just sitting and staring for the moment. And
nope.
Okay, apparently not. Why would
you even think about that?
Why do I suggest lines of play? So
he draws a 2.
Emil draws the 2. There's the 6, which turns into a 7 total with Chewie, which is 2 nouns that are there.
Blue and black card, yeah.
That's, I mean, I guess technically you could lose 2 black cards, but it's still 2 nouns total. I don't think he gets a stack. So he's at 5, 8. Yeah, he's not getting a stack out of there.
Yeah.
Because I think Joe's at 14 power.
Yeah. And there goes Bannis Keeg. Joe's not losing anything up there.
And
now Emil's thinking about which one do I lose.
I was going to say, yeah, because Bannis Keeg is a Destiny, it's forfeit 5, so Emil's got to lose a second card here. And Joe does lose the U3PO.
See, that just feels bad.
That just, I mean,
like, if
there was no good answer there.
There was no good answer, but at the same time, like,
and now he just moved Boba alone.
Adds an extra Destiny. He's a smuggler.
Yeah, no, there was no good answer. And I don't love leaving Boba alone either.
Yeah.
This feels like Emil's hoping
tilted?
for answers. I don't think he's tilted necessarily. I think he's just realizing he's got very limited answers.
Yeah.
And he's just sort of hoping something will hit. That should be a drain of 4.
2 more. It's a drain of 4 there.
Yep, it's a drain of. There's 3 icons plus the saber.
Yeah.
And he can't even if he was running something like Enter the Bureaucrat, he can't play it because it's his site. So this is like if Joe's got a couple decent cards in hand, this is going to go end real quick.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I think ML might be sitting on like a barrier or something, but like, yep, there's the fourth card. Is that there's that 5 that he would have liked to draw last battle.
And
Although
honestly,
it would have just cost him Corin. Like, I think that battle at Coruscant was a mistake.
Yeah.
I think you have to just like, okay, well, I'll let it sit for a turn and I'll reinforce. But yep, there's Screaming Lando. Here's the barrier.
Mm-hmm.
There's the sense. Joe says, fine, I'll lose the sense in 2. There's 1 of them. There's 2 of them. There's the sense. And doesn't bother grabbing the barrier, which I think he should have, but again...
He's got no force save.
Well, but you grab the barrier so you can't do it again. Yeah, Joe's just trying to... But even with the end, I think you... I would have still grabbed the barrier simply so you have it for next time. Oof.
So it's
a total of 6.
6.
Technically, that's just going to be Thrawn. That's all he has to lose, but I think he's going to be down in power. So...
It's 5 and 3, so 8 plus...
Yep, he is down in power enough to...
Yeah.
He's probably down 6 or less. Like, it might just be the Thrawn. So... But I'm not sure what else you have left here.
The bigger issue is, like, he can't go anywhere with the Jabba Space Cruiser. Like, he has to reinforce up there.
And the reinforce, like, Jabba's Cruiser has a permanent pilot, so you can't just leave it alone.
Yeah.
And you can't land it, and I almost would have considered leaving Jabba's Space Cruiser. Like, the reason you don't is you can get a drain with Boba next turn.
Yeah.
But, like, that feels okay. I guess, like, getting I get a drain of 2 when Joe's got, 30 cards to play with doesn't seem great.
I mean, it's a drain of 2 plus a drain of 1 at the village.
But you're going to get the drain of 1 either way. You get the drain of 1 either way. It gets a drain of 2. Like, Emil's got some dudes in hand, but, like, are any of them good pilots?
He's got the Emperor, Arsing, 2
So droids. Those are no's and no's. And more no's and no's. Like, this is not... not what ML wanted, not how he wanted this game to go. And honestly, that control at the start set such a tenor for this game.
Yeah.
Like, even though it really didn't end up nearly as bad for ML as it could have, it set the tone with Luke on table with the saber, starting fights right away, and there is not much ML has to do here.
Yeah, and it looks like ML just activates everything.
Yep.
So he's gonna Ellis.
First, he's gonna Ellis. What in the?
He went from Erica to Coruscant. Draws a 2. Well, no. What?
I'm not sure what all is going on here. Like, he activated everything and then moved that pile, and Joe's grabbing the Ellis, which makes sense.
Oh, she moves for free.
Yep, she moves for free if Luke's on table. Okay. So he's going to drain for 1 more then.
Yeah, and he's going to... That's it.
Yeah, so he'll get a drain of 4 instead of 3, which is fine. Like...
Yeah.
He's still... You're going to have to move Rystall, or you're going to have to move Boba back with Rystall at that point, and you're still just waiting and praying for that Joe doesn't have a Obi with Saber plus Clash and just wrecks your life.
Yeah, there's a lot you don't want to see.
Yeah. There's, and by the way, you still have to do something about that battle in space that's going to
Yeah.
end very, very badly. So there's Django Fett. Oh, he's going to do the swap with the sewer, which makes sense. But who are you getting back?
That's a good question.
Like, Shizor doesn't help
Thrawn?
you because he doesn't flip you at all. I mean, maybe Thrawn, but
Yeah.
like, none of those are good still. Like, I'm not actually sure that Django wouldn't have been a better pilot than Thrawn simply because he'll add a battle destiny with Lando up there.
Yeah. You're not
Like,
wrong.
Django would have been. I mean, he's one less. He adds one less power. Thrawn's +3 to Django's +2, but like, long as you draw higher than 1 for
Yeah.
battle destiny, Django ends up being a better option.
Yeah, I agree.
So I don't love that. And there's, is that the fist? Yeah.
That's another reason why he moved Erica over, because it reduces the cost of the fist.
Yep.
Yep, moves
So there he
Boba Fett
moves.
over with Rystall, and I think you can't move Erica.
No, and like the
That's
fist
just
being there is
asking for a
cute.
beat down.
I don't know what your, and you gotta probably throw on the site Eric is at, just so if Joe's got another run loop run or hits the run loop run,
Well,
he
he
eats
has a run loop
force.
run.
Did he get it? Oh yeah, he got it back. So
Yeah,
yeah,
with Uniata.
you have to make him eat the force. But like
Yeah.
Joe's looking at that
Like nom nom nom.
Endor site like, I'm gonna make something
But
happen
again,
here.
Joe's gonna drain for. He should drain for 4 here.
Yep,
Like ultimate or resistance isn't on the table.
yep. I mean, realistically, Joe should drain for 4, and Joe should battle in space. And what else Joe does is dependent on his hand, which we can't see.
Yeah.
But those are the things he definitely is going to do. And the space battle is just, it's got to happen. Like, yeah, the fist forfeits for a bunch, and you might just cost him the fist, but like,
So
you're fine with that.
yeah, you're 100% fine with that.
That's, you're drawing 2 battle destiny up
And then
there.
you maybe move like Luke or Yoda in front of Erica.
Maybe.
Okay, because think about this. Like, who does Emil have at this point that you're really afraid of?
Bounty Hunter
lost.
droids.
Boba Fett's over at Endor.
Yeah, I mean, the Bounty Hunter droids, P-59, although I don't think P-59 scares you when you're just
No,
running
because
Jedi.
P-59, yeah, IG-88 can get multiple destinies, but he has to be with a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
One, Aura Singh is probably the most impactful card.
Yeah.
But you
Or
gotta
Singh
think that Joe
threatens
has
Yoda.
You gotta think he's got like
A deflection or something.
in hand.
There's Probot lost. Like, there's not a lot of options
Yep.
for ML here.
Boba
There's
Fett Bounty
another
Hunter is
Boba Fett
lost.
Bounty Hunter.
And there is an Aura Singh with
The
Blaster
Wounded
in.
Warrior to cancel Leia's text, which is
Yeah.
cute, but. And Bosk is interesting because I think if he gets him up in space with a smuggler, he does obnoxious things.
There's the Tarkin's order that we were talking about.
So Virtual Bosk, while at the same site as a smuggler, oh well, with opponent smuggler or Wookiee, opponent may not draw more than one battle.
There goes the Gick off the top. He can't even bluff the Gick at this point.
Yeah. I mean, the Bosk going into space would be good for him, but it might be too little too late.
Yeah.
Like, especially if Joe's got a Han with gun here. There's Obi with Saber. Are we going to see the clash? We are going to see the clash, so he can't left the
There's
gick,
the clash.
and that poor girl is going to get myrtleized. So it's power 6 to power 1. She's going to be forfeit 0.
Power
That's
5.
no, he'll be total power +1 from
Oh, you're right.
Destiny. Look at me knowing what HITCO cards do.
I'm
So
impressed.
yeah, so am I, honestly. Like,
There's the bionic hand going to Luke.
which honestly doesn't seem terribly impactful. Like, you're so far ahead at this point. Like,
I mean, it's going to be cute because, I mean, if you move in front of Luke, like, if Emil has a second gick, which I don't think he does, I think you have to play like he has the second gick.
yeah, I mean, and even that, I think you're moving Yoda in front instead of Luke, and then it's
Yeah,
you have the run Luke run, like,
yeah.
make it happen.
What is he taking
Not sure
back?
what Joe. I'm not sure what Joe is taking back and thinking about here.
Like, maybe he was going to go to deploy a pilot up in space, but I don't think he needs
Which,
to. You just beat the
well,
ever living
and
doo doo.
the only pilot I would, the only thing I would deploy in space would be if you've got a Han with gun.
Yeah.
And Ahsoka Tano in front of Erica seems fine.
Ahsoka in front of the rice stall and just making it even worse.
Yeah. I mean, but if you think if you think there's a chance he runs 2 Gicks, Ahsoka in front of Erica is another stack, is potentially a kill Erica. Well, meditation is just the aliens are what powering. I think it's just alien leaders, isn't it? What is?
Yeah, but I mean it's somewhat of an annoying card. There's the battle at the Ewok village.
Aliens are power -1.
Yeah.
And forfeit -2 of a leader, and then yeah, it's there's
Joe does not draw. Oh, never mind. Emil just
ML
scoops.
scoops. I mean, when you see how low ML's pile was, and if he didn't have a second gick, he was dead either way. And Joe has more than 7, so Joe, with the 3-time world champion, joins that very exclusive club.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Joe Olson.
Congrats to Joe.
I mean, I know this is not live, so I think folks have already kind of heard about this, but
You'd think.
congrats to Joe. Still is awesome to watch and see how it happened and watch these guys who are absolute
pros,
masters at this game, and watch how they play.
But thank you all for watching, tuning in. Everybody, take care of yourself as always. Garrett, is always a pleasure.
Oh, for sure.
And
it's been fun.
See everybody on our next stream.
See you later, guys.